Today is going to be important for you because you're going to learn all about what a healthy protein is and how much you need of it every day. And this is what's going to help you heal. Are you settling or struggling with MS, or you have a loved one who has been diagnosed and you're searching for answers outside your typical medical system? You're not alone. Your intuition is telling you that there's more information out there, and you're right. Hi, I'm Adrienne. I'm a certified integrative nutrition health coach, author, and speaker. I'm also someone who has reversed all of my own MS symptoms over 10 years ago, and I can get you there too. So are you ready to dive in? I am. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to start with protein and why we need it. It's so essential that we get enough protein into our bodies so that our bodies work properly and they get the correct amount of nutrition they need to run smoothly. So, why is protein needed? Number one, it builds and repairs tissue. It's the main building block of muscles, skin, bones, and organs. And after exercise or an injury, your body uses the protein to repair and grow those tissues. Number two, protein also makes enzymes and hormones. Your body could not do that without protein. Many enzymes, which help speed up the chemical reactions in the body, are proteins. And some hormones, like insulin, for example, are made from proteins and help regulate processes like metabolism and blood sugar levels. The third reason we need protein is for our immune function. Antibodies that fight off infections are proteins. A strong immune system depends on adequate amounts of protein intake. Reason number four, proteins support muscle mass. It's especially important as you age or during weight loss. Reason number five, protein is an energy source. While carbs and fats are the body's main energy sources, protein can be used for energy when needed. And then reason number six, the final reason, good protein acts as a transport and storage of certain chemicals in your body. Proteins help transport substances in the blood, and proteins also store nutrients like iron in your body to help you process this efficiently. Now, a lot of people ask me, how much protein do I need? And this is what I tell people on my MS program, and I've done research on this. So if you can make a fist and eat a fistful amount of good proteins for every meal, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What's a good protein? Yeah, there's good proteins and there's bad proteins. I want you to eat the good ones. And the good ones are more expensive, but it's really important that you get them into your body during the healing process. So the main animal proteins are beef, chicken, and fish. I want them to be natural. If it's beef, I want it to be pasture-raised or grass-fed beef. If it's chicken, I like it to be organic chicken. And if it's fish, I would like it to be wild caught. The reason you want to eat natural animal proteins is because when animals eat in nature, they're healthy. And when we consume healthy animal products, we get the best benefits. When you go into a grocery store, for example, most of the beef is not grass-fed or pasture-raised. Yes, it's cheaper, but guess what? The majority of that beef is from cows that are not well. They're not fed well. I'm going to go as far as to say they're sick cows, because here's how they're raised. They're raised in a caged environment, and they're not always fed what cows are supposed to eat. Cows are supposed to eat grass and from the ground and from nature. And they're fed corn, and they're fed lots of other things, oats. Cows don't eat oats or corn or anything else. And they're fed these things to fatten them up, and fats make the steaks or beef taste better for the most part. But these are sick cows. And then the other thing is the cows get sick, right? So when they're caged up and they're eating these other foods that they're not supposed to eat, they get diarrhea. And then they're injected with antibiotics so they don't get diarrhea. And so they're injected with drugs, which makes them sicker. That's why I want you to focus on eating pasture-raised or grass-fed beef. Same thing with chicken. If you can buy organic chicken, these are chickens that are pasture-raised and they get vitamin D. They're healthier. They eat bugs from the ground. That's what they're supposed to eat. And vegetation from the ground. So these are organic chickens. And then wild-caught fish. Fish that are farmed are fed by humans. And guess what? Humans don't feed the fish organic products all the time. So, when you go into a grocery store and you see the fish behind the glass, and you'll see wild-caught fish and then the other kind of fish, which is farm fish. The wild-caught fish is pinker in color. The farm fish is more dull, less pink. You can tell just by looking at it which is which. So I really want you to start eating the wild-caught fish if you can, if you like fish. Turkey. Turkey's fine. Of course, wild turkey is better. You can eat pork once in a while. It's hard to buy. I don't even think there is such a thing. I've never seen organic pork, but I eat pork once in a while, pork chops or pork loin, bacon and sausage. So sausage is okay. Look at the ingredients. Sometimes they have added sugar. I'd rather you not buy the sausage with added sugar and added preservatives. Some of them are great. They just have spices and then ground pork. That's fine. And then bacon, if you can buy uncured bacon, sometimes you can find a brand that says paleo bacon, which means it's uncured. So it's not cured in sugar or other chemicals. So it's really natural bacon. So if you want to eat a little bit of that, that's okay. And then if you've got a hunter in your family, that is the best meat you can ever eat. Deer or elk or wild turkey or anything else wild that you can eat. Those animals are in their natural state, right? They're the healthiest animals you can consume. So that's also a really good protein to eat. There's a lot of people that are either vegetarians or vegans, and I totally understand why. I would be one if I could get enough protein from plant-based foods. I know my body. And, you've lived in your body for a long time. And what I found is people that are on vegetarian or vegan diets, they eat a lot of bread and they eat a lot of carbs because they need to fill themselves up. And really, I only find about 10% of the time of vegans, for example, where their body can do really well, but they have to be so careful. Every time they have a meal, they have to be very mindful that they're getting enough protein from these plant-based foods. So this is beans and tofu and a lot of other plant-based proteins. But again, they've got to be so careful to get enough for their bodies to function well. If I knew that I personally could eat just plant-based foods and not animal proteins, I would, because I do understand. I love animals. I do. But, my beliefs are, I think there's certain animals that are there for us to consume. And I wouldn't have that belief if these proteins in animal products didn't have so many benefits and so many vitamins and minerals within them that are good for us. I think there will be a time eventually where we will morph or adapt to only eating plant-based foods. I believe that time will come, but I think it's going to be a while. And I know, for example, so many people that were sick on a plant-based diet, vegans and vegetarians. Vegetarians can't eat cheese, drink milk, eat honey, but they don't eat the meat of animals. And in vegans, don't eat anything that is either made by insects or animals or anything. They only eat vegetarian or grains, vegetarian plant-based foods or grains. If you think about Dr. Wahls, and you have her book, I have her book, and if you've read it, she explains how she was a vegetarian since college and how sick she was. And then as soon as she graduated to eating animal protein, and she eats a lot of fish from the sea, oysters, clams, she prescribes and eats a lot of things from the sea. And switching over made her well. I also have another friend who had an autoimmune disease. She's completely healed herself. She used to be a vegan, and now she's a carnivore. Can you imagine being a vegan, not eating any animal products, to only eating animal products? She said she eats a little bit of vegetables here and there, but she said most of her diet is carnivore. And she feels so good and she does really well on it. But she said it was a very difficult change for her. And I can imagine how hard that would be. Now, I don't want you to eat deli meats because deli meats are cured. There's preservatives pumped into them. These are chemicals to make these deli meats last longer. So I want you to stay away from those. Eggs is another good protein. Terry Wahls does not have eggs on her diet plan. And the reason is because she herself is allergic to eggs. I'm not. I eat a lot of eggs. Eggs, especially from pasture-raised chickens, are really healthy for you. They have more vitamin E, more vitamin D, and more omega-3. The yolks are super nutritious. So whenever you buy eggs, I would really like you to buy eggs that are from pasture-raised chickens, not cage-free, pasture-raised chickens. Cage-free just means they could be in a building, and there can be thousands of them in a building. They're just not in cages. The pasture-raised eggs are from chickens that are able to go outside and they can get their vitamin D and they can eat a healthier diet from the ground, eating vegetation and bugs. That's what chickens eat. Okay, so that is protein. Make sure you get enough protein in your diet. And if you're on my program, I want you to eat animal-based products and you will never get hungry. In fact, when you do eat a fistful of protein, animal protein, for every meal, this is what helps you stay full. And it will help you get the energy that you need throughout the day. So I hope this helps you. Reach out if you have any questions. My email is info@nourishyourway.com. I'll put all my information in the show notes. And until next time, it fills my heart with joy to help you reverse MS. You can do it. Are you on the fence and wondering if you can heal and would like some support from somebody who's been in your shoes? You can absolutely heal, and I can walk you through my 12-week program. Change is hard, but I've made it much easier to modify your dietary habits and other lifestyle changes like body movement, emotional health, and self-care. I'm with you all the way, so just hop onto my website, nourishyourway.com, and navigate to the Work With Me page. You can either sign up there or apply for a 30-minute free call with me if you have any questions. Taking action is the first step, and I'm behind you. Also, if you like this podcast, please share it to somebody else who might be struggling. I'm so happy to be a guiding light for you, and I'll be back in a few days.